This presentation is just to go over a little bit more about the field experience that you will go on with your students in September and or October. So just to remember that you need to confirm your dates with me. There is a calendar available on Edmodo so you can see what is available. Again, we are limiting that to one science teacher's classes per field trip. So estimated around 100, but if you have a little over like 120, that's fine. But we're just going to accommodate one teacher at a time or 100 students, just because a lot when we get above that number, it's hard to contain those students on the beach. And again, you just need to confirm that with me, and we will select a site for you to go on your field trip. So just to go over how the field trip will run, the morning of the field trip, you'll load up your buses at your school and you'll arrive at our designated location. CVA staff will already be at the park, and we will have all of the activities and materials set up on the beach. So when you arrive, we'll greet you quickly and assign you with a group leader. That group leader will be in charge of your group for the entire time. So what we ask is if you divide your students either into homerooms, science periods, or about groups of 20, 25 students. So those groups will have a group leader, and that person will take them through the entire field trip. That way we're not rushed for other groups to rotate, and they can really get to know the students, and also they can tell when one activity is starting to slow down. They can go ahead and move along and keep that energy going so that students aren't kind of being bored by sitting on the beach. So the activities that we're going to be doing is we're going to walk them through the dunes and kind of give them an overview of the local dune system, and then that will lead them down onto the beach. When we're on the beach, we're going to do a little dune building demo and talk about the 3 ingredients that are needed to make a dune. From there, we'll walk down to the shoreline and we'll do a longshore drift lab where we'll measure how far a tennis ball moves within the waves over a minute of time and find the average, and talk about how longshore drift influences the type of sediment that ends up on our shoreline, and that will be directly built into the following lessons activities in October. From there, we'll do a wave lab, and that will just be looking at wave activity and how that influences the type of sediment that comes on shore, and then also the type of waves we have here on the Gulf Coast. And then from there, we'll wrap up with the actual sea oat planting. We'll get those sea oats into the ground, and then that will be it for 2 hours. From there, you can have lunch, or if you are having lunch back at the school, you will depart. There also is a small chance that if we have some time built in and we're near a dune lake, we might set up some dip nets so the kids can kind of catch the species, or we might have a touch tank just so they can see what kind of animals are living near their sea oats. But that kind of is just site specific and if timing allows. So just to review again what to bring and what to remind your students to bring, you want to make sure that they bring hats, sunglasses, wear and bring sunscreen. Make sure they have on clothes that they're going to be comfortable outside. So if it's a little chilly, make sure they have a coat, or if it's hot, shorts and a t-shirt. Again, a water bottle. Can't enforce this enough that water is crucial on this field trip. And then flip-flops, shoes that they're able to take off real quickly, get and put back on. So to prepare for your field experience, make sure that you confirm your date with CBA. Again, it is your responsibility to reserve the buses. I will work with each of you to make sure that you get your field trip covered. Most of the schools as of now have their buses and transportations covered through grants. So if you have a question about that or the next process, please send me an email and I'll be happy to address that with you. Also, it's your responsibility to work out lunches if necessary. If you're going to have lunch at the beach, make sure that you have it worked out either with the district cafeteria or with your students how that lunch is going to be provided. If time permits, you are provided background information, and that is provided for you in that teacher training, and then it's also going to be found in the Edmodo folder titled Field Experience, which is also where you found this PowerPoint. So if time allows, print some of those off. They have corresponding questions, and let the kids learn a little bit about what they're going to cover. But again, this is not necessary, and we'll cover all the text and knowledge that is covered in that in detail on these field trips. Also, you have been provided flyers to send home. There's a few different flyers we're asking you to send home. One was provided at the very beginning training, and that just gives the students and their parents an overview of what they're going to be participating in this semester. Also, in your teacher training and also in the field experience folder on Edmodo, you have two different letters that you can choose to send home. One is just a formal letter that states, to the parents and the guardians what field trip they're going on and what they should bring and prepare for. The other one says the same exact thing, except it's a little more colorful, a little more flashy. So it's up to you. Whatever one you wish to send home, they're there for you to print and get those home or put up on your own classroom website. And then also the last thing you need to do is let us know what time you plan to arrive at the park. So you can just send me an email that says we are going to be, when you confirm your date, just let me know when you plan on loading up the buses at your school, and then we will be ready on site when you arrive. So just make sure you confirm those times so that we are ready to go when you get there. So just to review again, the field experiences, your responsibility, reserve those buses, confirm dates and time with me, send home those flyers, let them read the background text, and prepare them on what they need to bring. CBA, again, will bring all the materials and supplies needed for the field trip. The COs will be on the beach. Everything needed to put those COs in the ground will be there. We will reserve those field trip locations. So if you haven't reserved or let me know what state park you would like to go to, please let me know as soon as possible. We also will provide water coolers in case kids really need that water. We'll also have first aid kits on hand. And we'll also lead all the field trip activities. So we just really ask you and the chaperones that you bring with you just to be active in controlling the kids, but we will be there leading all the activities and teaching for the day. So that's a little bit about the field experience. If you have any more questions, please feel free to contact me. But after the field experience and moving into October, please start to think about the next activity. So if you could, please confirm your dates for monthly implementation. So CBA won't be coming back into the classroom until November, but let's go ahead and start setting those dates in advance. Also, we will be delivering your Dunes in School supply bin for the whole year during the first week in October, so be anticipating that arrival. I will send out notification before we go to your school. Also, on the field trip, you will receive your student folders. So the students are going to have folders that correspond with every single lesson we do. And so in that folder, there's worksheets and activities. The students will receive those on their first field trip. So make sure that you take those folders home, which will be in a folder bin, and take those back to your classroom and have them in your classroom ready to go for when your next lesson is. And also, October's lesson is the sediment lab that will be using compound microscopes. If you need microscopes, please let CBA know so we can arrange delivery for those. That's all I have for you today. If you have any other questions, again, just feel free to contact me. Thanks.